SAMCRO has been wreaking havoc all over Belfast, damn it. And the island of Ireland. And today's episode is no exception. I think they take it up a notch. They even turn on their own Sons of Anarchy members, but technically they turned on them first. So let's kick off with 3 facts. First fact, hit me with it, big man.
First SOA, Sergeant at Arms death. On screen.
On screen. Of course, previous Sergeant at Arms will have died in the timeline, but this is the first one on screen.
I was literally about to ask you who's died off screen, but...
Yeah, but obviously...
Since the show started, don't it?
Aye, but, you know, not every Sergeant at Arms has lived to tell a tale. And also, first 9 member to die on screen. John Tell, we didn't see it on screen. We could have included President, but again, I feel like first 9's a wee bit more prestige. And then, the final fact, first appearance of the true IRA Council. We meet the likes of Rourke and all the other Irish guys that the names are just going over the top of my head. But you know, the real IRA. The red-headed godfathers, as Clay put it, guys. What do you make of the true IRA Council sitting in their wee Belfast?
Bunch of old fuckers, really, isn't it? Like, I mean...
That's pretty much it. Talking of old fuckers, Father Ashby...
Very old.
Turns up at Jax's, like... motel, it's in. And he's like, you've got the full support of the army now as long as you prove that Jimmy's involvement in the truck bomb. And he's like, I've got a pretty good idea. Obviously, this is alluding to the fact that Hinks O'Neill is behind it. Jimmy and Donnie then phone the big man. They phone O'Neill. It's like, brother, this did not go to plan. Give us your location, we'll hit you up, brother. Then O'Neill arrives at the clubhouse. He goes to have a drink. At the corner of his eye, McGee spots this. He goes in, and in my opinion, we get one of the better episodes of the scenes of the series. Maybe not the series, but this Irish arc. I like.
You gotta lay low. You gotta lay low.
You know about that blast yesterday? He's like,
I didn't.
I swear, Keith, I didn't.
I swear, Keith, I knew you wouldn't get on board.
You gotta lay low to Jack's get that kid and leaves. Shite!
Shite, they're gonna get me.
I like the fact though they incorporated like the whole like Irish stereotype with the whole fucking beer bottles and whiskey bottles getting fucking wrong about.
Whiskey bottle sits upon a chamber.
McGee trying to cover his own track.
Ho 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 ho! Everyone on our channel talks about spin-offs. What about an Aces and Eights spin-off?
Oh, that we. Aye guys, if you know Aces and Eights, leave it down below, right? But McGee's trying to, you know, cover his tracks here. He's about to go to SAMCRO, but he overhears a conversation about SAMCRO knowing that O'Neill was a rat, and then Clay's like, well, if O'Neill's the rat, we may as well condemn the whole chart. Clay just wants to fucking wipe SAMBEL at the face of this earth.
I know, like, Clay doesn't... first 9, I don't give a shit about that. Clay wants to blame the whole charter, but McGee hears this, then he comes busting in, and it's like...
My boys are loyal to the MC, Clay.
Unlike you, I like to give them the benefit of the doubt. But there's no denying O'Neill. He's turned on his brothers.
SAMBEL will handle the betrayal, but we gotta get to Nori and put a bullet in Jimmy.
Clay, well, that's not what you told me.
Clay's like, what do you mean you're not selling guns, you fucking old bitch?
I like to give my boys the benefit of the doubt.
Right, I get it, right? They want to hold the possibility that SAMBEL have done it, but realistically, that blast blew up half of SAMBEL.
I like to give my boys the benefit of the doubt, Clay.
You trying to tell me Patrick was on board?
Maybe if Clay gave Opie the benefit of the doubt, Opie would still have his wife.
Exactly. Clay, you rat bastard. But the idea of going to Newry and killing Jimmy quickly gets shot down because...
McGee was in that barn as well. Like, I mean, he's hardly in on it, is he?
Well, he's in on it to a degree, but he didn't know about that. But yeah, but I think this was an extreme measure to condemn the whole charter. I understand why they'd think it, but any sort of logic would point towards, well, hold on, actually, half their charter was in the barn with us. And O'Neill's the only guy who actually left. Why would McGee...
And O'Neill's the one that was sitting talking with Jimmy when Jax put him on the phone.
Come on, sons, man, you gotta figure it out here. And then McGee's like, so it's the truth we're after. And McGee at this point realises he's fucked up, man.
You know what would have been better, though? See if they actually gave us a bit more screen time and a bit more development to the other characters that weren't under Jimmy's pay grade. I think that would have been cool, because then you were like, oh, well, who's with Jimmy and who's not, but pretty much the only characters we get for SAMBEL are O'Neill and McGee.
Yeah, I don't get...
Everyone else just fades into the background.
Clay talks about how we need this sort of to stay whole. Could we not have a scene where him and Jax talk to Luther and fucking Sheamus? Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, I mean, because it almost seems like this charter consists of two guys, and they're both under Jimmy's wing.
One of them's not even the VP.
So it's like, I mean, once you take out McGee and O'Neill, it's like, how the hell does this charter even survive? Because, like, Luther and Geezer, like, what happens to those two after that episode where they run the police over?
Exactly.
Do we even see them? I think Luther might be seen in the background.
I think they were in last episode, but apart from
Do they have any words?
I don't think so. I ain't not got a broadside no bloody policeman. Right, anyway, the Sun's questioned Cherry about O'Neill's possible whereabouts. She just says she's no idea. But then Gemma's like, you do realise that he had a part to play in your half-sex murder. And she's like, what? He's like, well, I did find a stack of cash and an address. And then Maureen Ashby grabs her by the throat. It's like, don't you ever lie to the club. Do you understand?
You never lie to the club.
Do you understand me? The accent was coming out here. No one can bury this accent. This sounds like some fucking smick. Do you understand me?
I genuinely thought the accents were good. I don't know why everyone gives them a... I don't know what people are talking about, because we're actually living in Orland, and yeah, these accents are good, in my opinion. I know a lot of people say Liam O'Neill's is shit. Well, Liam O'Neill's actually Irish, so...
Yeah, I don't get why O'Neill's would be horrendous.
I don't think it is, though. You seem to think it's not good.
No, I don't mind it, but I do feel like there is elements of, like, overacting. Maybe you could say because he's pretending to be drunk, but he's like, you gotta believe me, Keith.
You gotta believe me, bro.
I feel like when he says that, it's like...
Desperation.
Aye, but what are you going for there? Anyway, Salazar, he calls the TM garage. He picks up the phone to Chucky.
And he gets a smell of shite, and it happens to be Piney.
He's like, are you a patch member? And Piney's demeanour goes for, like, loving this fucking phone call. Who the fuck is this? And then Piney lets the crew know. He's like, he's got Tara. He wants us to kill Alvarez and steal $250,000 from his safe.
Easy, isn't it?
It's that easy, isn't it, man? It's just simple enough.
Just walk into Alvarez's house.
Oh, I'll tell you what, though, right? The Suns have not been rich to any point. What makes them think Alvarez has got $250,000 stashed away? Going $250,000? Not like 50 G's. $250,000? What if the Mayans did the warrant that?
Well, he did pluck this number, a specific number, so there must be some sort of rumour.
I guess $250,000 is just like a nice way. Like, on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire's $250,000?
Well, maybe Alvarez has bragged in the past about having money, and then he thought it would be a good idea to tell the Suns later on that he doesn't have it, in case they were getting any ideas. Yeah,
Kuzik here says to Tig and Piney, we may as well reach out to Alvarez because we can't actually go ahead and kill him. But Tig and Piney are like, the Mayans hate us. Like, these two just want to kill fucking Alvarez for realsies, don't they?
And take his money that he doesn't have.
Yeah, no, they literally do. We do get a scene where Margaret explains she was in a biker gang, but realistically, who cares? I mean,
the reveal of her having a biker tat in the previous episode did absolutely nothing for me.
Yeah, you know what? It's filler, but at least it takes up about 20 seconds. If this was Mayans, it would get a fucking story arc.
See, that's the thing. I'm not a big fan of Margaret Murphy, but at least she's only in scenes where Tara is. If this was Mayans, it would show you Margaret Murphy going home and having fucking lunch with her kids and shit like that, and picking out with her husband what shows they're going to watch tonight on TV.
Yeah.
It's like, don't need that shit.
We do get another scene of the Suns. We have a few members of SAMBEL. McGee's there, Sheamus is there, we get SAMCRO. We get like one of the last few montages, I guess you could say, of them riding through the streets of Belfast. So they arrive at the docks. McGee's like, I've been a bit unsteady since the blast yesterday, just give me a minute. Obviously, this is just an excuse to phone O'Neill. He's like, where are you? He's like, the loft. He's like, SAMCRO's on their way. Get the fuck out of there.
You gotta get out of it. You gotta lay low, brother.
He doesn't lay low. He jumps on his bike. Jimmy and Donnie pull. He's like, what the hell's he doing, brother? And then Jax fucking runs and just gores him off the bike. Great iconic scene, this.
Iconic?
Well, he fucking spears him off the bike.
I've got a problem with you, right? You keep saying, you don't understand the word iconic. A lot of times there'll be a half decent scene and you're like, oh, iconic.
Right, who else has been speared off a bike in this show? Exactly.
It's just not iconic.
Is someone getting speared off a bike?
Iconic. You're putting us in the same level as the iconic Hulk Hogan.
Well, maybe not that iconic.
Half iconic.
Yeah, O'Neill's kind of rocking the Hulk Hogan sideburns.
He was. O'Neill's pretty popular here. Everybody's after him.
He is.
He's a man in demand.
Chip's like, come here, you bastard!
This is for Patrick.
Patrick, you killed him!
And do you think McGee is really? Do you think McGee's caring about O'Neill's like welfare here, and he wants O'Neill to be safe, or do you think McGee's thinking, holy shit, if he spills his guts, maybe the truth will come out about me?
I think McGee, right? Seeing he bust in as SAMCRO, he's like, but you're right about O'Neill. I think at that point he should have said, right, SAMBEL's free, but I'll be honest, guys, I was working with Jimmy for a bit, but I had no idea about the blast yesterday. I think he would have saved himself there. I'm not saying he wouldn't have got took out the club, but I feel like him, like, because he was like, oh, we've got to get the Nuri and put a bullet in Jimmy. And he's like, he's trying to get O'Neill to lay low. He kind of dug himself a grave. But let's see where this
goes. Did he though? Because if O'Neill laid low and never got caught, they wouldn't really have found it.
Yeah, but then they wouldn't be able to kill Jimmy. That's the problem. But
why wouldn't they been able to kill Jimmy?
Because they needed proof that the Jimmy had turned on the brothers on the IRA cause. That's what Ashby told Jax.
I know, but Jax's mission was to kill him anyway.
Who?
Jimmy?
Just bring him back to the States, don't you worry about that. Anyway, right, so at this point, Jack's like, call Sean Casey, we got a confession to record.
And of course, Casey's the big man. Casey's going to come and record his wee confession. I never liked the Casey brothers.
Obviously, this was to give Casey like a bit of like, comeuppance for what happened to his brother, so I'm not really totally against it, but let's be real. Happy, Clay, Jax, anybody in this room could have dealt with this. Let's Seamus do it. Put the VP over, brother.
Yeah, why did they make out as if like only Casey could deliver this sort of interrogation or punishment? I didn't really understand that. It's like, is Casey this like specialist in torture or some shit like this?
Yeah, I mean he is because that's what he said. Ashby said, but
I'm sure anyone could have done it. Like,
I mean, it was pretty brutal actually, slicing like his abdomen over and twisting like his lower intestine sort of stuff. Oh, McGee thinks the same as us. He's like, fuck this shit. He's like, I can't watch this. He then attempts to leave. Then Liam O'Neill admits to it. And he's like, didn't tell McGee about it. No, he wouldn't get on board. He's like, you ordered that. Jimmy ordered that to kill army men. Yeah, I did it. I'm sorry.
Who else? No one just us. Who else is working for Jimmy? Right. No one just us.
He threw McGee under the fucking bus.
Yeah, but he also said he didn't tell McGee because he knew McGee wouldn't get on board. So in my opinion, that kind of almost saves McGee a little bit, but it's not how the club look at it.
No, the club look at... Yeah, like McGee's first 9.
I think McGee should have been saved here.
I don't think he should have been killed.
If McGee was in on it and McGee knew about the blast and he was okay with it, then yeah, of course. But it's almost like O'Neill saying, didn't tell McGee about it, no, he wouldn't get on board. It's almost like him saying that was irrelevant. Him saying that didn't mean shit. He may as well have said, aye, McGee knew about the blast as well. But it didn't fucking do McGee any favours.
Well, we'll talk about it in a wee minute.
Well, did it?
I know, let's get to McGee later on.
But what did that do for McGee?
But let's get to it later on. That's my point, right? That's my point. But SAMCRO then pour all this fluids down, lighter fluids sort of stuff, paint thinners. Jimmy in the IRA bust in, he's like, do you smell that? Fucking thinners. He's like, let's get to the roof, boys. I was like, happy, and Seamus actually stepped up to the task here. He locked the door. So Seamus actually did something worthwhile. And then as they get to the roof, Chibs and Jax grab Jimmy. He's like, come here, you bastard. And then as they've got Jimmy under control, Jimmy's like, it's the priest, Jackson. He's never going to give you your son back. Then McGee just appears out of fucking nowhere. He's like, got a lot of friends, Jimmy. And he goes to shoot him. And then 10 IRA guys just come out of the fucking rafters.
10, 4.
Right, 4 and Donnie.
Even before this, you've got Jimmy, before he got caught, saying to Donnie, get 4 of our guys down here. Is that 4 was going to be enough?
Yeah.
You're against SAMCRO and half of SAMBEL. I mean, it was 4, and they might have had decent weapons, but come on.
Yeah. No, but I enjoyed this scene. McGee shooting at Jimmy actually makes Jimmy escape here. All the IRA die apart from Donnie and Jimmy. Plot armor, brother.
So McGee could have just sneaked off here, but essentially got himself killed by...
Pretty much. Jax chases after Jimmy and Donnie. They escape in their Mercedes. Clay manages to catch up to McGee. He's like, it's over, stop. And then I think at this point, when Clay's like, why'd you do it, bro? He's like, this life hasn't left me much of a retirement plan, Clay. It's just about the money, brother. Could he not? But I'm not saying he has to beg for mercy here. But could Clay not confront him? Like, did you know about the blast, or was it simply just about intel about trying to get us out of the country?
No, but did they not tell him it was? When O'Neill says he wasn't involved.
Yeah, no, but maybe Clay would want to hear it from his mouth. But I feel like what McGee did, I think it warrants a mayhem vote. But for Clay to push him off the roof, I don't think it was. It was justified, but not completely. And the fact that this guy's a First Nine member, and like you can clearly see that like Clay and McGee were like, I would say they probably would near enough been best friends before obviously McGee moved back to Belfast or whatever. But they've been friends at this point for what, probably like a good 40 years, 35 years. I mean, it's a big moment for Clay to push him off the roof, and I don't think anyone else other than Clay should be killing him. But I just feel like it warranted a mayhem vote.
I do think McGee was done dirty, and this is probably a separate video. But yeah, I don't think possibly getting kicked out the club or whatever, excommunicated, possibly. But did he really do any? I mean, he just tried to get SAMCRO out the country.
No, yeah, you're right.
Identification, you know, like I mean, I don't think he really did anything that I would say should get him kicked out.
I guess the problem is they're looking for, well, you were kind of stopping us for getting able. I mean, he didn't really have nothing to do with it, did he? But you know what? As for like the Belfast action scenes, like this whole sequence, and then the previous episode, them arriving and the whole PSNI, I think they've hit the ball at the park with it. You don't think so? I feel like the action was really well done.
Definitely. I really like the Belfast Island arc. I know a lot of people.
I would say that the worst episode might be 11. But I feel like with 11, it's more like SAMBEL.
It's like the aftermath, really, isn't it? It's almost like
it's more focusing on just getting able.
It's like SAMBEL's kind of done and dusted by this point.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Talking of done and dusted, Jax and Clay then meet with the true IRA council. They're all thanking the Sons for their evidence against Jimmy, and they're like, this is enough. But then they're like, we'll take care of Jimmy internally. And Jax is like, that's not what we agreed on. You said I'd get support to take out Jimmy. Jack's just, again, coming across that whiny bitch here. I don't like his...
But he did say that. I mean, yeah, he did lie to him.
But I feel like... I don't know. I feel like if Clay came out with this outburst, it would sound like more legit. I feel like Jax does it. It's like, only in season 3, I feel like he sounds like this. I don't know what it is. But Ashby kind of looks at him, like, we'll speak later. And then Jax is like, damn. And then Clay's like, not here, brother. In the Lodi attic... We've got Margaret here, not really doing an awful lot, if we're being honest. We've got Tara, I'm pregnant. But then we get, I think, a very underrated scene. We get Tig, Piney, and Kozik visiting Alvarez's house. This is just dodgy, because they go in through the back door, for God's sake, man. And not the Taza back door. Like, the Alvarez is legit back door of his house. They don't wrap the front door. They go in, and then as soon as Alvarez appears and he's got his gun and he's holding his kid, they whip out all their guns. This could have ended in disaster, man.
Yeah, they should have just kept their hands up. Maybe come in peace.
He's like,
to infinity and beyond, you know, like,
yeah, exactly. Salazar's kidnapped Jax's old lady and a woman she works with. He's like, what the hell that got to do with me? And he's like, he wants us to kill you and steal $250,000 from your safe. And Alvarez's like, all I got in there is my kid's baby teeth and some birth certificates. I got no money. So the Mayans are pretty tapped at the moment. But Alvarez eventually agrees to play dead. Piney said you can rise through the dead, and all those spics love that Day of the Dead Murto shit. They quote him that.
Aye, they love it.
I don't know what is going on there. I just see a wee blood splatter, man. So Piney, kind of being low-key racist here, and Alvarez was kind of hesitant, but then Kozik gets this deal over the line. Without Kozik, I feel like Alvarez dies here.
Or Tig and Piney die. Somebody dies. Or shootout.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I think that's probably what would have happened.
Alvarez says, hey, next time you come here, friend or not, I'll put a bullet in you, I say.
Well, then we get Gemma and Maureen drink. Well, Gemma's smoking, Maureen's drinking. And I feel like this is another underrated scene, because you've actually got Gemma looking weak here. With each response that she's got to Maureen, Maureen fucking sits her down. She's like, we put SAMBEL in the map, and after 5 days, you nearly wiped them off.
You nearly wiped them off? Maybe you didn't chop man like a meat grinder.
It wouldn't be overseas looking for some tenderness. And Cherry's just sitting there like, what the fuck's going on here? It's like, I gotta get some smoke. I gotta get some whiskey. And then they go downstairs and they find some incestuous shit going on. What is going on here? Gemma knew this was happening, man. She should have nipped this in the bud.
Yeah, when she first seen it, like, what should have just says, like, I don't know. If you don't want to tell the truth, like, could have just come up with some bullshit reason.
Obviously, this is like, kind of funny and like more of a like for the like an action purpose, and like, it's more like hard hitting scene for them to find out this way. But realistically, should she not have told Jax even before they got to Belfast? Like as soon as she found out, like there might be some more truths that you might be finding out here.
Possibly.
At the end of the day, but yeah, share a bit of family history. Jax says a funny line. A few minutes later, he'll be dancing in Tig territory. Trinity takes this news a lot worse than Jax, to be honest.
Yeah, it's almost like she's got it. She didn't get to sleep with Jax. It's just kind of what I got from it.
It's like, I near shagged my brother, man. What the fuck's that about? Anyway, Opie then arrives like, you gotta meet with the priest, Jax. So Jax goes to meet with...
To be honest, she doesn't look like the typical person Jax would sleep with.
Yeah, you could almost argue it was a bit forced. But anyway, is what it is. Jax goes to meet with Father Ashby. We've got Sean Casey there searching Jax for weapons. Jax is not very happy here because essentially here, Ashby's like, I don't want your JT's grandson following in his father's footsteps. So he's been given up. He's like, adoption? You filthy Judas. Jax has had enough here. He lunges for the priest and I mean, Father Ashby just fucking picks Jax up by the scruff here and almost sends him back to Charlie.
I mean, he throws him like without getting on Elliot's plane.
Yeah.
He throws him like a big pile of shit.
I get it, right? They want to book this guy.
This guy's about 60, 70 years old.
I know, but people can still...
Well, I'll say 60, probably 70.
No, I get it, right? They want to portray this guy as like a big, strong guy, but I thought this was...
Yeah, but this is Jax Taylor, and he's literally throwing him like he'd throw Abel.
And this guy fixes his collar like he's the...
I know he fixes his collar like he's just dropped one. I don't understand it.
Like he's the Rock, man. But we then get Sean Casey gets stabbed twice. He's like, tell me where my son is or I will kill him. Oh, Springfield Road. BT 155886. There's a stone brick house. Make sure to go in the morning because the nuns will be there, brother. Jackson leaves and then Ashby's like, look at the last couple of days with violence alone. If you love him, give him more, Jackson. And that is where our episode ends, guys, and yeah, I thought very action. I feel like they gave us all the action in the first half, then like we kind of got the aftermath in the set. I feel like they could have maybe dragged out the O'Neill McGee stuff to the second half of the episode. Do you not think so?
Aye.
I feel like it literally begun, and like McGee's got O'Neill in the fucking sharpshooter. Like, don't you let him, brother?
I just think, if it was me, I would have probably had them get to Ireland a couple of episodes earlier. I do think it took them too long to get there. They didn't leave. They were in Charming for the first 6 episodes of season 3?
7.
7?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's too much for me. I think they could have. Gave the Ireland chapter a couple more episodes. And then that way, maybe you could have fleshed out SAMBEL and stuff like that. So
yeah, and I'm gonna give this episode.
I'll give it a 9.
I'll give it a 9.
I'm gonna get a 9. It was good.
I'll get a 9 too.
Really
guys.
good.
Yeah.
Don't agree with McGee getting killed, but you know, betrayal.
What about Clay pushing McGee off with Harland and Wolf in the background? Was that in City Hall? Was that no iconic?
It was a good wee scene, like sightseeing and all that shit.
Sightseeing, brother. Anyway, guys, it's time for quote of the episode. No, McGee wouldn't get on board. R.I.P. Liam O'Neill. I mean, the guy has about 20 quotes I quote daily in my life, so...
No, but Dan the Man is always talking about how the dialogue in Mayans MC sucks and that they, like, overly rely on F-bombs. And I can't agree anymore. It's like, seeing the Mayans, I can't think of that many one-liners or quotes can you think of that you constantly bring up in the entire series. Most of it is...
Tell me, hermano, are they into it?
But that was with Chip. That's what I'm saying. Most of it is from that. Like, see, over the past couple of seasons, there's barely any memorable lines. Whereas when you're watching Sons, it's almost like every episode you're getting at least 10.
See, I remember the Tig stuff when he talks about Montez. I was actually impartial on the little guy.
Well, like, seeing you're watching Sons, there's so many great lines. Seeing you watch Mayans, it is literally... They're talking, but it's not going anywhere. It's so boring. The dialogue's
I
bloody
think
terrible.
you've seen with Chibs and Happy, especially. I don't think Tig's actually dropped a couple of F-bombs in mine, but I feel like that Chibs sit down, you've seen how much Sons missed F-bombs. And I actually would say if there was one problem with Sons, there wasn't enough. Well, I mean, I said it wasn't enough. There was no F-bombs.
True, but I mean, give me a show that's great with good dialogue and doesn't have F-bombs than a show that is relying on F-bombs to just try and be edgy, because that's all Mines does, in my opinion.
No, you're right, and you're entitled to your opinion. And MVP, I think it was his only MVP, Keith McGee, damn it. We give it to Keith McGee. Thought he put his acting on a show here. And yeah, guys, sad to have it over. The end of Liam O'Neill and McGee. And yeah, we'll put up a poll very soon, probably after the Mines finishes, because when the Mines finishes, that's when the Belfast arc's over anyway. So, who was better? SAMBEL or Sam Dino? We'll put it up for a poll.
Ooh, SAMBEL, Sam Dino. Who you guys gonna vote?
Till next time, though, it's a 9 out of 10. One more episode in Belfast, then we return to wrap up Act 1 of Sons.
You know what? Just before we end it, I'm actually going to say something controversial, and maybe I'll be proved wrong. I don't know if there's one episode of Sons so I would give a 10. I think 10's tough, and if there is, it's probably only a couple. I hate these reviewers that dish out 10s like they're nothing. To get a 10, an episode needs to be damn near perfect. And I'm not saying we won't get a 10, and maybe we've already gave a 10.
We don't give Sleep of Babies a 10.
What episode's that?
Madonna dies.
I maybe did, actually. No, I don't mean there's no 10s, but I mean 10s are rare. 10 should be earned.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of 10s. I mean, there probably will be a few 10s, to be honest. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, guys, this one gets a 9. We're almost... Point is, see if you average the Suns' ratings out, it's probably at like an 8.7 or something. 8.5 or in that region. But anyway, guys, till next time. Peace.